Alright YouTube, in this video we are going to see how to show friend list. That means if someone sends you friend request and you accept it, and after accepting, your friend list will be visible. So this is how it looks. So right now we have some set of user IDs. So these are the login IDs. So these are the login IDs which is going to give friend request to this ID. So fine, let me refresh it. It will be blank right now. Log out. Fine, now let me log in with this account. So this account is going to get request. So this is the account. You can see this is the guy is going to get a friend request. At present it is null, that is the notification is null and the friend request is null. So let us log in with this account and try to send friend request to the David. So this is John. John is going to send request to David. So let me pass the 8 here. Send friend request. So if you see, request sent successfully. So let me refresh. Let me click on the notification. John sent you friend request. Fine. Log out. Now let's log in with the Matthew ID. Submit. And if you click on notification, if you click into the timeline, and we are going to send request to David. So for that we have to get into the ID, send friend request, and if you refresh, Matthew sent you friend request. Likewise, let me do for Paul as well. Paul is also going to send friend request to Matthew. Send friend request. The same way, Vishal is also going to send friend request to Matthew. Send friend request. Friend request sent successfully, and if we refresh, it is going to stay same, which we have already done it. We are not going to see. If I refresh, there are 4 requests right now. So if I click on accept and click on the notification, you see John is now friend. Let's click on Matthew's. Matthew is not now friend. There are 2 values, so let's reject this. So if you click on notification, you see Paul is also a friend. Let's accept the request from Vishal and click on notification. Vishal is now your friend. So this guy, which is Matthew, has 4 friends. So this is what we are going to see: how to accept friend request and how to reject friend request and how to show the accepted friend request on the list. Let's get started. In this video we are going to see how to create add friend functionality. Like if I log in with the guy name called Paul, and if I get into the Matthew's profile, now this is Paul. To get into Matthew's profile, you have to pass the ID 8. So this is Matthew, and I'm in Paul right now. Paul is sending request to David. So actually it is David. Send friend request. So the request is sent to David. So let's log in with the David ID. So in the notification you should see Paul has sent you request. So if we click on accept, in the previous video we have seen till here. So in the coming video, in this video we are going to see how to accept the friend request or reject the friend request. Fine, let's get started. And right now we are going to create a table called friends. So once we click on accept, this table will be populated. ID, user 1, user 2, date added. Fine, so this is going to be primary key. Click on save. So now what is going to happen is, if we click on accept, it will get into the request table, and here we have added accepted. Here we are going to add either 0 or either 1 or either 2. So here let us add one more enum. So fine. Now if I click on accept, it is 1. If I click on reject, it is 2. So it will be populated accordingly. It will be inserted accordingly. So now after clicking on the button which we have completed on the previous video, a request is sent to the action.php file. So this is the request action, and we are matching with the URL. If this is set, then the send request is ID and the type is 1 or 2. So let's get those two values as well. So this is the ID, send the request. I'll store into a PHP variable, and then we have type. It is going to be either 1 or 2. So if type equal to 1, that means we are going to accept the friend request. To accept the friend request, we have to write update query that will make the request table column which is accepted equal to 1. Fine. So let's find the update query. So let's get this and paste it here. Update register activate equal to 1, where here we have to look where sending to is equal to actually the ID, session ID which is currently activated. So we'll make it as success accepted. Refresh it, and on the table at present is only 1. If I click on accept, it doesn't say anything, so that means we have an error. So if there is error, update register set activated equal to 1, sending from ID. So let's echo the MySQL underscore error and pass the connection. Unknown column sending to. Actually it says it could not find the column name sending to. It is request, not register. Fine. Now if I try to accept, this is unknown column activated. It is accepted. I'm sorry for that. Accept, and it says accept. That means you can see, you should see 1 here, but actually it is not 1. Refresh it. Let's try to refresh it. It is 0. We click on accept. We are getting the message accepted, and here the value is not set. I think there is no other. Yeah, there is something similar to SQL here. SQL underscore update accept request. try accept, and now it hasn't accepted. Let's see whether the ID is 1 or not. If it is ID, it should not get this message. It is passing here, that's why we could get the message called accepted. That means this query is running. Inspect. Let's see what ID we are getting. The ID is 2. So here the sending to is not 2. So I'm logged in as 8. So actually it is sending from. And refresh, accept it. Let's see, 1 is accepted. Yes, 1 is there. The same way, if it is 2, else if, we just have to run the same query and make it 2. Success, reject. We'll give this name as reject request, and now it's 1. Let's try to make it reject. So reject has run. Now it should be 2. Fine. Now likewise, if I have accepted the request or I have rejected the request, this thing should get disappear. So for that, on the notification, if the request is equal to either success, else if the request is equal to the message which we are getting, if it is accepted, if it is rejected, so let's get into the message. So let's get this. Sorry for that. So $.this will be the button. This dot parent is the strong. It is strong tend again and again we need parent dot html or dot text. You accepted the friend request, else you rejected the friend request. Accept it. Let's try to alert so that we can see whether it is working. Accepted, reject. I think we are getting it with spaces. Let's try to console log it. Accept. reject. So if it is accepted, then we'll get the alert saying accept. And that means this block is working. And let's try to console this. If we click on accept, so we'll store this inside just here, equal to button. Let's try to console this. So it's let's jQuery trick. And again it is window. So to make that happen, we need to change the HTML for that. We are passing the values on the on click action. If you see, we are passing this as on click, so this should not be the case. Let's add a class called so now data hyphen type equal to 1, and here 2. So this 1 and this 2 is what we are passing now, and then data request sending from, the same way data request sending from, we have to get these values. So we have to remove the on click listener, which is no use for now, because that work can be done. What is that error? Control B. What is causing the error? It is actually the double quotes. Fine. Now if I refresh, actually the data won't be, we have to modify the notification table and we have to send it again. Delete, request, delete. Log in with the name of Paul. Get to the timeline, get to the 8, send friend request, and now log in with the ID David. See the request notification. Now if you see, the on click listener will be changed to the data hyphen type data hyphen sending request from. And now so we have to get the class. So if you know, we have added btn accept dot click. So once you click, you should get the value using the data attribute. Dollar this dot attr. The first one is data hyphen type. I will store it into a variable called type, and the second one is data hyphen sending request sent from. We'll store it here. Then whatever is there inside, we'll copy it, or let's say cut it and paste it inside. And now this type is this type, and this request sent from is this one. Now let's try to refresh it. Accept. On the console, button is not defined. Let's remove the button. So now this is actually referring to, let's check what, dot log. Click on accept. On the message we are getting and now we can make a dollar this equal to button, and we can access this button over here. So now we are getting the proper value. Now let's try. Click on accept. You accepted the friend request. You click reject. Actually we need to add the reject functionality. btn reject. Simple, same as that. You rejected the friend request. Now what you can do is, instead of just saying this, you rejected friend request from the ID which sent the request. We don't need this. From accept it. There's an error missing. We can directly write without the template literals. Accept, and if you click reject, and if you want to be more clear, and from the request where you're actually sending, you have to run a SQL query that will convert this 2 into name. So let's see where we can get it. Here it is. On the action we need to have here, we don't need to check the number rows. Select register where the ID is equal to the value which we are sending from. SQL check, result check, row check. Now we can display this row check. So for now we will comment this because we don't want to send the ID with it or the name with it, so that will give some irrelevant answer. We'll comment it, and for now you can see you can accept and you can reject the friend request. So once you accept, what should happen is you want to insert the values into the friends table. Update this, and we are going to insert some values. Insert into friends table, where user1, user2, date added will be modified. User1 is simply send a request, and user2 is actually the session which you are currently logged in. So let's get the session. And date added, we know we are going to use the PHP YMT. We'll try this outside. Date of dollar, it should come inside single quotes. And let's add this session also outside. My ID, which is actually the one who is logged in. And we have to run this query as well. And insert friends. If both this runs, then we'll get the success message. If both the query runs, then we'll get the success message. Accept, and let's check the friends table, and yes, it has been added successfully. So now if you see, even after refresh, it is getting displayed. Accept it, and what is really happening on the friends table is it is keep on adding again and again. So we don't want that. So before showing the message to us, the message where we are actually getting is we are getting the message, where we are getting the message, it's over here. So before that we have to do one thing, which is we have to run the select query. So if the select query finds that these two members are friends, then don't show the notification. That's what I'm going to do now. So I think we have used the select query somewhere over here. So let's just copy paste it. So here select the name of the table, select all for the name of the table where user1 is actually and user2 and we are going to use or we are going to use the same thing again. So we just have to make sure we are passing the ID right. This time the ID comes here and on its user2 now. ID is not the session. And then we have one more ID. We'll comment this or we'll get confused. Request sending from. The other value which we can get from the notification. So instead of using dollar noti from noti to so we'll pass first time the value over here and then 2. The mouse is little disturbing, and then here 2 and then from. So if it finds any value, then you have to use num rows. If it is greater than 0, if it is not greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, if it is greater than 0, that means what? The value is available on the database. If the value is available on the database, then we don't want to show. Else, if the value is not in the database, we want to show. Fine. Now let's try. The value is there, so it is disappear. So on the friends list, so if I delete, and now we could see the request. Accept it. Let's get it to the notification again. So it is disappeared now. So that means the notification is not available for the second time. So if I delete it and refresh, now you can see the notification. It is working. So now if I accept it, I want to see the friend list on the left hand side. So let's make it on the notification page. we have already left one column blank, and here we are going to have friends list, and over here we'll have notifications. Fine. Now we are going to use the PHP select statement get friends list. So here the table name is going to be friends, where user1 is equal to the session which we are logged in, so this is the member ID. We'll store this into session underscore ID, or user2 equal to this one. User1 and the user2, we have made a semicolon here. Underscore get, so we are retrieving the value and displaying here. So if we find either one, we want to echo, we have to make it as MySQL query fetch array, which will make the array into a named index, which we have already seen many times in this video, in this series. Echo, so we'll just display the ID. So if available, then we'll display the ID. Refresh it. File is already there because we have accepted it. So now, with the help of this session ID, friends, so the IDs, the ID is 5 and our ID is 8. So we want to get the user 1. So if we get the user 1, with the help of the user 1, we can get the values. So to get the details, you have to get into the profile, actually has the profile pic, and register actually has name. So let's get the name. Get name, select star from the table where ID is equal to the value we fetched my friend. If we get this value, then run the query. After running the query, convert this into array $row underscore get name and echo the profile picture name. The call, no, just use the name. We don't need profile picture, we need the name for now. Now let's refresh. We're getting the Paul. Paul is now our friend. Likewise, copy this and get the profile picture which is available on the table profile. Select star from profile where user ID is equal to the ID my friend. What we need is, here we'll add profile pic. And the column name pic. So now we should get the value. So now let's display this on the HTML. So these two values, paste it above, or fetch pic, fetch name. So let's close the PHP tag. Here we'll add a div, or let's say a row of call 4 and call 8. Call 4 will hold the image and pass this PHP echo, and it is going to be on the folder called images slash, and then we have name h2. Write it inside the PHP echo comment it, refresh, and let's give the height and width. Height as 50, width as 50. Or let us make a 100 by 100 to big, 70 by 70. This is H6. Class text uppercase, and just below the friends list class, margin bottom 2, padding top, let's say. friends list notification. Fine. Now let's try to send request. So this is 8 log. Let's try to send request with some other guys. 10 is going to send request to 8, send friend request. And now log in with the ID. Now the ID 10 has sent you the request on the notification. UIMonk sent you friend request, accept it and refresh, and you can see your friend list is available.